Now, all 8 Air Force personnel on board 2 Air Force choppers were killed in a mid-air collision near Jamnagar in Gujarat. The tragedy took place while Mi-17 medium-lift helicopters were on a range-firing mission. The mid-air collision took place at Sarmat village near Jamnagar. It is yet to be known what led to this horrific incident. Both the choppers were armed as they were on a firing mission. The choppers were from the tactical training school. An inquiry has now been launched to ascertain the reason of this collision. All right, let's cut across to our defense correspondent, Deputy Editor Shiv, tracking developments on the story. Shiv, what is the latest information that is emerging out of this tragic incident?
Preeti, we do know that an Indian Air Force team has reached the site. They reached about 45 minutes ago. They're inspecting the crash site. They're recovering the cockpit voice recorder, the black box, the flight data recorders from both the helicopters to begin the actual investigation. Prima facie information that the Air Force has gotten after speaking to certain villagers who may have been eyewitnesses to what really happened suggests that there was a mid-air collision of some kind. Both the helicopters were flying very closely in formation. There is reason to believe that there might have been either a loss of control or a pilot error in violating the safety margin that is always supposed to be compulsorily maintained between the two helicopters, which is supposed to be between 15 to 20 feet between the two helicopters at all times, in all dimensions. But this may have been the reason why the two helicopters actually collided. The details of precisely what happened in the air are unknown at this stage, and will only come out once the inquiry actually begins and start to analyze the information in the black box. But absolutely terrible tragedy, Preeti, considering that all 8 people on board both those helicopters have perished in this terrible accident.
Of course, a court of inquiry awaited, Shiv, but once again, the spotlight is on the M17. It was supposed to be the better version, combining both the technical aspects of the Mi-8 and the Mi-24.
That's right, Preeti. These were the information that we have. It's not been confirmed by the Air Force yet, but these were the new build Mi-17 V5 helicopters from the Tactical Training School of the Air Force, which were on deputation to the Jamnagar Air Force Base. They were not from Jamnagar itself. What I can tell you for sure is that apart from the training that the pilots receive, helicopters like these also have proximity sensors which warn pilots in the event that they're flying too close to another aircraft or helicopter in the vicinity. Now, when you're flying in formation, you're flying both visually, where pilots can see each other from their cockpits, and they're also looking at their instruments, and their sensors are feeding back data about the distance and the minimum separation between the two helicopters. So obviously there has been some kind of catastrophic communication gap between the two helicopters, between the two cockpit and the cockpit crews, or there might have been a loss of control. So was it pilot error? Was it a loss of control arising from a technical failure? Was it a combination of both? Did the ground control have something to do with it? All of that will come out in the next 2 to 3 days when the information from the flight data recorder is recovered. But what I can tell you is that the pilots in both the helicopters were very, very proficient flyers. They both had several hundred hours on the Mi-17, which I must also place on record is an extremely safe and proven helicopter, Preeti. It's a helicopter that the Indian Air Force operates in large numbers. We've continued to buy them. The Indian Air Force recently began taking deliveries of 80 new Mi-17s, and they've decided to buy at least 100 more of the same kind of helicopter. They've been in operation since the 80s. They're highly proven. They're very rugged. They're of Soviet origin. It's a helicopter that is used in almost all kinds of missions, not just armed firing missions, but also in flood rescue, troop delivery, special forces, every kind of mission that you can possibly imagine in the Air Force. The Mi-17 is a very prominent fixture in all of those missions. So, it's a case not just of total shock because the pilots were so well trained, but also the fact that this is a helicopter that it has proven to be very, very safe for the Indian Air Force in its history of flying, and therefore along with the investigation, there is a sense of shock and disbelief that such a thing could have happened.